Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. What is up, what is up, what is up? It's your boy. And it seems we got a bit of a crisis. You see, I found out that Kate and Chuck did some more shit to screw me over. You know, typical shit. And that's okay. And I know this is going to sound weird coming from me because you guys know how much I can't stand Kate and I can't stand what Chuck's doing. So, I'm going to be frank with you. And I never in a million years that I thought I was going to say these words that are about to come out of my mouth. And those words are this. Kate, I want to say thank you. Because you made me realize something. See, you doing all the stuff that you did to me and whatnot was messed up. Not gonna lie. But doing the stuff that you've done to me recently and your little friends have done to me recently, I'm actually thanking you for, because you taking away all this stuff from me and me not being able to do this, that, and the other, like not being able to do my music, not being able to do my artwork, put it out, and hell, not even being able to open up my own shop. For once, I'm saying thank you for all of that. For a very good reason. Because you made me realize that there's one place I truly belong. There's one place that I need to be. And one thing that you can't stop. Which is me being back behind the wheel and competing full-time in racing. Now, you might be able to take away my artwork. You might be able to do this and that. And that's true. Because, let's face it, let's be honest here for a minute. You do have a pretty big following. But there's one thing you'll never be able to take away from me that you'll never be able to stop. Which is my skills behind the wheel. And for me, competing full-time in sim racing competitions as a professional driver and pro athlete. Now, while I might not be a pro right now, while I may just be getting my bearings back up and going full-time, you know, I may be just getting back up in there and whatnot. Because, see, before you came along a few months ago, do you know what I did at the beginning of this year? Do you realize what I did at the beginning of this year? I won the F1 2020 competition. Took 4 consecutive wins back to back on some of the hardest courses in the world. 4 consecutive major short wins. Because it was a short Grand Prix run. We did 4 tracks back to back. And I took that competition. I won that competition. Haven't really competed since. But in the last few hours, I was really sitting down thinking about it. And over the last few days, it's always replayed in my mind. Like, what can I do that she can't take away from me? What can I do that I'm good at that she can't take away from me? What's the one thing that I'm good at that nobody can touch? That nobody can stop me from doing? And earlier I was sitting down watching the film Bennett's War, which, if you guys don't know, it's a very good film. Which, if you guys don't know, the movie Bennett's War is a very good movie. I highly recommend it. And if you don't know what Bennett's War is about, it's actually about a motocross rider that competed a long time ago, and he ends up riding for the military Army Rangers, doing dirt bikes. He decided to race for a while, and then he wound up leaving and joining the military as a dirt bike driver for the Army Rangers. Well, he got into a bad explosion. Him and his buddy. And they came under fire and whatnot, and he wound up not being able to walk again. And seeing him get back on that dirt bike, seeing Bennett get back on that dirt bike and riding again, and seeing his wife support him like that, that's when it clicked for me. At that moment, it clicked for me that I belong back behind the wheel. Like, seeing Bennett on that dirt bike reminded me that I belong back behind the wheel competing. Because that's one thing you'll never be able to take from me. Sure, you can stop me from doing this, you can stop me from doing that. But the one thing you'll never ever take from me is my skill behind the wheel. And getting sponsored and doing what I need to do. While yes, I may not get paid right away because it takes time to go pro. But you want to know something? I'm willing to bust my ass for that. I'm willing to work hard every fucking day. And I'm not just going to be competing in NASCAR. I'm not just going to be competing in Formula 1. I'm going to be doing the GP series, the GT series. Hell, here in a couple weeks, I'll be picking up a set of Corsa Competizione and being competing full-time with that as well. So, Kate, and to anybody out there that thinks they can stop me from doing this, you're full of yourselves. Because sure, you can take away my ability to do this, that, and the other. But the one thing you'll never be able to stop is my skill behind the wheel. Because as everyone knows, I'm naturally gifted behind the wheel. Now, somewhere down the line, in the next few months or so, somewhere down the line, I will be releasing a book with my dark poetry. And so that is going to happen. That is eventually going to happen. But like I said, there's one thing you'll never be able to take from me, Kate. And that's my gift behind the wheel. Ask anyone that knows me. I'm naturally gifted. And I've proven that time and time again. You can ask Music Biz Marty. You can ask anybody that watched me compete back in January up to March. I'm one of the most gifted riders there. I'm one of the most gifted drivers of sim racing there is. Now, while it is true, I never took it that serious. But there's one thing that I'm doing. I'm coming back. See, here's the thing. I don't need a driver's license to compete in sim racing, my friend. Sim racing doesn't require a driver's license. All you need is a sim racing game and a proper wheel setup like I have. That's all you need. And then all you gotta do is go on Facebook, look for groups to, compete in. Look for groups on Facebook that are doing competitions, that are competing, that are doing stuff. While yes, it may be true I might not have my driver's license, But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not having my driver's license. You want to know why? Because if you really think about it in the long run, I'm actually saving myself money by not getting my license. I'm saving myself money. If you really think about it, I'm saving myself money by not getting a car. Because while I'm over here competing in sim racing competitions, what are you doing? Running your mouth? Here's the thing. I don't need money to compete, my friend. I don't need money to compete. See, what you guys don't realize is there are actual competitions that offer money. There are competitions out there that offer prize money, or as we call it in the racing scene, a purse, cash, money. So, like it or not, support me or not, I don't care. I'm doing what I gotta do. And when I say, Kate, I thank you actually, because you made me realize that being back behind the wheel is where I belong. Hell, ask anybody that's watched me compete. They know. They've seen me compete. They've seen what I can do behind the wheel. They've seen what I can do behind the wheel of an F1 car, behind Super GT cars. Hell, why do you think on Motorsport 7 I'm in the top 3% using the Renault F1 car? I'm literally in the top 1 to 3%. And that's just on Daytona. That's just on the Daytona track using an F1 car. If I can do that, if I can get into the top 1 to 3% in an F1 car on Daytona, which, mind you, is not an easy task. A lot of people think it is, but trust me when I say it's no easy feat. So if I can break into the top 1 to 3% like that, imagine what I can do behind a fucking wheel in actual competition. Imagine what I can do when I train and I get good. And I actually refine my skills from being raw to very, very refined. Because it's pretty clear I've got a raw talent for competing. I got a raw talent for racing. But I need to refine that skill. Get that skill to where it needs to be. So that I can be even faster and even better than what I am now. Where do you think a lot of these young drivers that are coming up in Formula One and all these different racing series that are out there, where do you think a lot of these young drivers come from? They come from sim racing backgrounds. Matter of fact, there's a brand new Formula driver. I'm not sure exactly of the kid's name. Like, I remember the guy's gamer tag, but how do you think he made it into F1? How do you think he went and got into the Formula One racing series? He got in there through sim racing, competition. See, something that not a lot of people realize is, what do you think pro companies who compete in real life use to train their drivers? They use sim racing rigs to train their drivers. Matter of fact, I'll pull one up for you guys right quick so you can see just what these drivers do.